Everybody is anticipating some kind of revelation in the next IPCC reports that are saying we got it wrong. As far as I understand, we haven't. So where are you getting your information? I'm not a climatologist. I wait for the climatologists to tell us what they're thinking.
I only wish David Suzuki had told us years ago he wasn't a climatologist and therefore we didn't have to listen to him. I want to turn to a man who is a climatologist, Dr. Tim Ball, often called a climate skeptic. And Dr. Ball, the new report from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change at the UN is out today. And does it tell us anything new, such as the world's not warming like they claimed?
It tells us that they're still trying to fix the science and corrupt the science against what's really happening. What you've got, what they produce is what they always do. They've produced a summary for policymakers. That's not the science report. And we know every single time that the science report, which will come out later, will tell you everything that's wrong with what they're doing and why it doesn't work. But the summary for policy, right? The summary for policymakers is an executive report that's written by the middle management to please the executives, because they want the executives to keep funding them. And if they tell them that they don't know what's going on and things aren't as bad as they thought, the money's going to get cut off, and that's what's going on here.
All right, Tim, I want to read you a quote from today's report and then ask you to explain what it means, because there's something at the end of it that kind of, people will be saying, what does that mean? And then we'll get to a clip from Dr. Stalker today. This is from today's report. It says, each of the last 3 decades has been successively warmer at the Earth's surface than any preceding decade since 1850. In the Northern Hemisphere, 1983 to 2012 was likely the warmest 30-year period of the last 1,400 years. And then you notice it says there, medium confidence. You won't see that in the media reports, but in the actual report it says, well, we have medium confidence in this. Is that their way of saying we think so?
Well, it's their way of saying it's a 50% chance, and of course they shouldn't even have that. I mean, the claim that we've had the warmest decades recently is not a surprise. The global temperature's been going up since 1680, what was called the Little Ice Age. So nobody's arguing about that. Now it's leveled off. And so if you've got a graph where the temperature is going up, where are you going to find the highest readings? At the top of the graph, and that's what's happening.
No, it's not going up now because global warming's paused, which even Dr. Stalker admitted, he's the co-chair, but couldn't quite explain it. Let's listen to him from earlier today.
Yep.
We have insufficient data to adequately assess the forcing over the last 10 years or 15 years to establish a relationship between the causes of the warming. The assessment has shown, and this is something that scientists have known for a long time, that there is a large amount of natural variability.
Dr. Ball, isn't that what you've been saying for a long time? There's natural variability. There's all kinds of other things that could be going on the planet.
Well, exactly. And in their last report, they said that the CO2 signal had completely overridden the natural variability and had done that since 1950. Now they're scrambling around and saying, oh, well, nature's not doing what we predicted it would do, so we better back off a little bit here. I mean, this is such theater and falseness that it really is an absolute outrage. It really is the greatest deception in history, because what they wanted to do was demonize CO2, and of course all of the energy economies of the world are now based around that idea. Mercedes are selling cars on the amount of CO2 it produces, and it just simply not justified based upon the science. So their report and their claim that it's the warmest in 1,400 years is also wrong.
And so I want to ask you about that and the ice, because we're told that the ice is receding, but we've got the maps, 920,000 square miles of extra Arctic ice this year, 920,000 extra square miles. Let me say that again, 920,000 square miles added in 1 year to the Arctic ice cap. So they can't explain that, Dr. Ball. They can't explain that.
No.
They can't explain why it's paused in 15 years, but they can definitely tell us why it warmed up in over a 30-year period, and we've got to spend billions of dollars to stop what they can't explain fully.
Okay, let's sum up what they've been wrong about. Every single thing they said has been wrong. They were wrong about the Arctic ice. They were wrong about the Antarctic ice, which has reached record levels this year. They were wrong about the glaciers retreating. They were wrong about the number of hurricanes increasing. They were wrong about the number of tornadoes increasing. They can't put clouds into their models so that they work effectively. They stopped making predictions because they were 400% wrong and started calling them projections, but they're still wrong. So every single thing they've said has been wrong, and yet now they're telling you with 95% certainty that we know what's going on, but the man just said we can't explain what's been going on for the last 30 years.
So in a couple of days, or is it a couple of months, we get the full scientific report, and then it's off to Warsaw, Poland in November, where there's going to be demands that we spend billions more and send billions from Canada to other countries, that we pay a climate debt. There's going to be a big political push on again, isn't there?
Oh, of course. It's all about the funding and the money and the political control that this gives them, because they want to reduce industry. They argue that industry, through its CO2 production, is destroying the climate, and therefore we've got to shut it all down. But just for the last report, I'll just read you one little bit where is it here now? They of course, I can never find things when I need them. But basically what they're saying is that they don't include the stratosphere in their models because it was too expensive. But that's why they haven't got reports on the QBO. But the QBO is what drives the El Nino. And yet some are telling you El Nino is causing the change. Here's the quote. Due to the computational cost associated with the requirement of a well-resolved stratosphere, the models employed for the current assessment do not generally include the QBO.
So,
and it's unbelievable.
This is snake oil salesman at best. So we should ignore them now. We should have ignored them before, and hopefully we won't be spending the money. Dr. Ball, thanks for helping us break it down today.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right. Share your thoughts. Facebook.com. Punch in Byline or my name. You'll find us. More to come.